Hey everyone, it's Carson Tech here, back from another video, and in this video, I'm going to be checking out probably one of the coolest wire-free security camera solutions that I've ever checked out on this channel, and specifically, I am talking about the EufyCam 2C Pro. What separates this from the rest of the pack of wireless security cameras is that this has a 180-day battery life as well as an on-premise security storage solution. So that means you are no longer having to pay for the annoying, pesky cloud subscriptions, and you don't have to worry about the security of your system. It's all on your network. So alongside that, it also has a lot of other cool features, and not only is it compatible with the typical Alexa and the Google Assistant, but it's also Apple HomeKit compatible, which most security camera systems are not that. So the fact that it is, I find pretty awesome. So by the end of this video, I'll have covered an unboxing. I'll be giving you some of my general impressions about the products, as well as giving you a review at the end. So with that said, let's get right into that unboxing.
Alright, so let's get right into the box. On the outside, you'll see quite a bit, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because that would take way too long. Right on top, you'll get a bunch of documentation and some stickers. Next up, you'll get what is called the home base, which is what stores all of the data. And then also in this kit, you've got two cameras. Each of them are relatively small. They're both exactly the same. But underneath those is where you'll get to some of the accessories, including these two mounts to actually mount the cameras. Opening it up, that's what that looks like. You've also got a power cord for that home base, an Ethernet cable for the home base, some mounting hardware, and a power charging cord for the cameras. Now with me removing this front cover, there you go. That is all that's inside the box. Now let's move into the setup. Setup is very easy. All you got to do is power the home base as well as plug it in via Ethernet to your network. Then from there, you just download the Eufy app and it will walk you through pretty much everything. As you can see right now, this whole process is very quick and easy. You just got to scan the code on the bottom of the camera, type in some information such as the name, and then go ahead and update the firmware, and you're pretty much set after that. Then from there, you can begin setting up the cameras, which is a separate step. From here, you can just add each camera individually by clicking the next button and then pressing and holding the sync button on the top of the camera. After you've done that, it will go and begin putting out a sound through the home base. With that, when the cameras go and get set up, it's actually pretty neat. They get synced via a sound that is put out by the home base. So they listen out for that sound and they decrypt the sound, and that is how they connect to the home base. So I find that to be pretty cool and something I've never seen in other cameras before. But once you went through all that, then that is pretty much it for the setup for the camera. You just got to repeat these same steps for each of the cameras and you will be pretty much all set. If instead of having your home base connected in directly to your network, you would rather have it connected via Wi-Fi, that's very simple to do. All you got to do is go into the home base's settings, click on the Wi-Fi setup, click your SSID that you want to connect to, type in your Wi-Fi password, click next, and then it will begin getting set up via Wi-Fi. Once it's been set up successfully, you'll be able to go ahead and unplug the Ethernet cord from the back of the unit, but you will have to go and unplug the power as well just to power cycle it so then it can get set up over the Wi-Fi and make sure everything is connected. After it is finished booting up, you can run a connectivity test, which will check to make sure it's got good signal, and you're all set there. So now you can just put the home base wherever you want in your house without having to worry about it being connected directly via wire. Next up, you'll see me adding the home base as well as the two cameras into the Apple Home app via HomeKit. Doing this is really easy as well. All you got to do is walk through all the steps and add it into your home and into the rooms that they are located in. Then you just do that for each of the devices, so you will have to do this 3 times since there's 3 devices, and then you can modify some of your settings if you wish, but then you just continue through, and once you're done adding everything in, then it's just as easy as opening up the home app and clicking on a camera feed to view the live stream. So if you'd prefer to view over the home app rather than opening up the Eufy Security App, then you can go ahead and set it up this way. So you can do it that way rather than through the native app. So that's pretty cool.
With both of the cameras set up, mounting is super easy with the included hardware. The base allows you to either mount by using screws, or if you're more into zip ties, If you're mounting onto a pole or something like that, then the slots on the mount work perfectly for that as well. In my opinion, the best part of having wireless security cameras is that you can mount them pretty much anywhere you want, literally as long as they are within Wi-Fi signals. So I ended up mounting one onto a tree branch and then the other one onto our deck where there's no wiring or anything like that. Past the installation though, with my cameras now running for over 2 weeks and well over 900 plus motion events captured, I feel I can confidently speak about how well the system has actually been performing so far. To start, let's begin by talking about the app itself, which is your primary means of actually interacting with the system as well as the cameras. Firstly, I will have to say, although the Eufy Security App may not be the most feature-packed app that I've ever used for a security system, it is most certainly the most responsive. Want to view a live video stream from one of your cameras on an instant? Well, no problem. It is loaded within seconds. Want to review a motion event? You've got that to view within seconds as well. Want to change a setting? Yep, you guessed it, it will update pretty instantly as well. Even outside of the Eufy app, the cameras are very responsive, such as if you add the home base to Apple's HomeKit or view the stream from there. See, I mean, look, open backyard cam. And just like that, it is instantly up. Maybe not instantly, but it's up very quickly to view your camera stream, which is awesome. Speaking of that home base, you'll be seeing recording time somewhere around 3 months worth before it overwrites itself. And if you're someone who has played with, security camera systems before, you may have just spat out your coffee hearing that number because you're probably thinking, what the heck? How much storage is inside that little system right there? Well, it actually only has 16 gigabytes total, which is where one of my first issues arises with this entire system. Although I love the fact that the home base will clearly allow for recordings to exist for as long as it claims, I'm guessing it's probably going to go even over 3 months total of recording time. The video almost seems to lack because of that feature. With a video recording quality of 2304 by 1296 at a frame rate of 14.99 frames per second, the quality is pretty meh and honestly washed out at times if the camera is not in the best lighting, which with a security camera, it's not always in the best lighting. I do not think that the meh quality though is based on the quality and frame rate, but I do rather think that it's probably due to the terribly low bitrate for a 2K video. Because of Eufy's conscious decision to go and try and save storage space as well as have really long battery life, 2K videos only have a bitrate of around 280 kilobytes per second, where a recommended bitrate for a 2K stream is around 14 megabits per second for a 14.99 frames per second video. That means the bitrate is literally 50 times less than a recommended value just in favor of retaining storage and having a lower processor requirement, meaning that you can have a longer battery life on the cameras. In my opinion, the most frustrating part of this decision is that it does not seem that anywhere within settings you are actually able to override this choice in favor of better video quality. Yes, there is a section under video quality that allows you to change from Full HD 1080p and 2K HD, but changing between those does not change the bitrate whatsoever, so that does not solve that issue. Don't get me wrong, I get why they have to do this in order to keep up to their marketing promises, but if I'm allowed to change to a higher bitrate as the end user, and as a result I have to recharge the cameras every 1 month over just 6, just because I want the better video quality, then give me the option as the consumer to actually do that. Anyways, I digress. With this annoyance aside, I do not believe that it actually takes away from the overall camera experience. I just feel like it's probably one of its biggest pitfalls. Even with the low bitrate, the quality does not suffer entirely and does look pretty dang good when you get a solid frame considering the 2K capture quality of the camera itself. On top of the camera quality, the microphone quality is pretty good itself as well. I mean, it's compressed some, but that's just in order to go and dial in on voices rather than in a way that just cuts out all the information from the audio.
So if you're somebody walking by and you happen to trigger this, you can't even tell what is putting out the light. It is that bright. I can't see anything behind it. And yeah, so.
In the other direction, the speaker on the camera is decent as well. Here, just have a listen.
Here is an audio test of the speaker on the camera itself. The volume of the speaker is currently set to medium, and the camera is placed, I would say, around 6 to 7 feet away from the camera. So this is how that sounds. Let me go and let you hear the alarm sound as well.
The battery life that I've experienced so far has been fantastic compared to other wire-free security cameras that I've tested in the past. So I will say that although they do limit that bitrate, it does go pretty well. I will say I haven't been able to actually test whether or not the cameras hold up to a 6-month worth of charge, but the backyard cam was holding up steady at over 80% charge before I changed to optimal surveillance in the power settings just last week. Optimal surveillance on the camera in our front yard has absolutely nuked the battery. It went from a solid 60% charge when I mounted the camera all the way down to 0% in just 2 weeks, which is absolutely crazy, just because it would pick up every piece of traffic that would pass on the road in front of our house. And yes, I know I could go in and I could adjust some of the detection sensitivity settings, but I wanted to really just test the cameras, how they performed right out of the box with minimal modifications to the settings, just to give you a real-world example of how these actually perform. Something that doesn't come included but I feel deserves a mention is that you can actually purchase a solar panel for each of the cameras to keep them charged up at all times, so then you don't have to go out and worry about charging them up manually whenever they get low on battery after just a couple of months. But for those who don't plan on getting that, don't worry, because as I slightly just mentioned, within the settings, you actually have the ability to adjust power consumption on whether you would prefer to have optimal battery life and therefore smaller video length clips, which is around 15 seconds, or optimal surveillance, which will record longer clips up to around 60 seconds at a time. You can also create a custom recording preference with clip lengths up to 120 seconds and re-trigger intervals of 5 seconds, which if you happen to do that, be ready for the battery to just drain instantly, pretty much. But moving on from that though, and moving into some of the night vision settings, night vision options include not having IR or the LED light turn on at all. You just can have the IR turn on, or you can have the LED spotlight turn on as well. One of my favorite parts of the app that is most unique is that you can go and actually set up the cameras to record to a local NAS on your network if you happen to have one. Unfortunately, doing so though does limit your video recording quality to 1080p, which is very unfortunate. The same goes for if you link the home base to Apple HomeKit. So if you plan on linking the cameras to any of the above, specifically, you may want to go and just pick up the 2C camera rather than the 2C Pro, just to save yourself some money, because you'll be limited to 1080p anyways. And speaking of, the only real difference between the $80 cheaper 2C kit and this 2C Pro kit is that the 2C Pro can record in 2K if and only if it's not linked to a NAS or a smart home service that allows you to view the feeds like I just mentioned. All the other features are exactly the same though, so even though I haven't actually had the 2C camera in my own hands, which is the 1080p version, unless Eufy goes and addresses the low bitrate problem as well as allowing you to record in 2K even when you've got the system linked to HomeKit or a smart home service, you may be best off with honestly just purchasing the regular 2C kit for, obvious reasons, to save yourself some money. So overall, I would like to end the video off with saying that the camera quality is not bad by any means. Even though I have addressed that bitrate issue a couple of times throughout this video, that is not really a reason to not go out and get the 2C Pro system. It is a fantastic system for the price that comes at a cost that is reasonable considering Eufy actually values your privacy. This is the first time that I've actually seen a wireless system that allows you to have free on-site storage on a small device like this that doesn't go and store the video files on the camera itself or forces you to go and pay for cloud storage. The app also comes with features that I haven't even mentioned up to this point, such as security modes and protection plans for your systems to gain real 24/7 monitoring and dispatch support. All in all, I can recommend this system, but Eufy most definitely needs to go and touch on the issues that I've addressed throughout this video. I don't see that being more than a firmware update away though, so that should be a relatively easy fix on their end. If you'd like to learn more about the EufyCam 2C Pro or pick up a system yourself, I will be leaving links down in the description below. But with that said, I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you did, make sure to go and let me know by clicking that thumbs up button down below, as well as subscribing for future videos like this from me. Also, you can check out some of my other videos by clicking right up there, or maybe see a wired security camera system install by clicking down there. But with that said, that is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Peace.